Hey, this is Alex from Ferments. In addition to making live and cultured foods, such as sauerkraut and kimchi, we also make kombucha. See here in our bottle. And this here is a kombucha mother, otherwise known as a SCOBY, a symbiotic culture of beneficial bacteria and yeast. Right now it's lying dormant, and it's ready to basically start making our own. So how I do it is I start out with a green tea. This here is just a regular organic green tea. I pre-brewed some here in this pot. I used 3 tea bags, so it's a nice strong tea. So what I want to do is pour the tea into here. This is about a liter, this jar. Tea bags there, just buttoned it up. There we go. Then the rest here we can just fill up with water. Some clean water here. One important thing about all of this is cleanliness, hence the gloves. Anytime you're dealing with any sort of a bacterial culture, you want to be as clean as possible so it doesn't get into what you're making. So this is our tea and water. To that you need to add some sugar. I'm going to add probably about 3 tablespoons of sugar into the mixture. And 3. You have to stir it up well. Again, using a clean spoon. So right now I'm basically making the mix that our kombucha mother and culture needs to eat. And it will eat the sugar, and it will work with the caffeine from the tea, and eventually it will turn this tea into this kombucha. So now that we have our tea and our sugar, it's here, it's at about room temperature. You don't want it too hot, you don't want it too cold, because now we're going to add our SCOBY, otherwise known as our kombucha mother. Some people call it kombucha mushroom. You want to add all the liquid that's inside. That'll mix up with the tea. And then you want to add this. This is the actual SCOBY itself. It grew on the top of another jar that I made, and then I put it in here and just saved it so that I could make a new batch. One good thing I've noticed is that my SCOBY is floating, which is good, and it's a nice kind of like white opaque color, which is also nice. Sometimes SCOBYs will start to turn brown or they'll sink. That's a good indicator to start using a new SCOBY. So it has its tea, it has its sugar. Its other thing that it needs is air. So when you're putting a cloth on the top, make sure it's clean, make sure that air can get through it, then just seal it up with a rubber band so that no dust or anything can get in. And we'll leave this for about a week to ferment. You can leave it for 2 weeks, you can leave it for 2 months. It's all up to you. It's going to start kind of tasting like vinegar after a while, and it's going to get more carbonated, it will get more sour over time. I prefer about a week and a half to 2 weeks so that you can still taste some of the original tea. But that's all subjective. So when you're fermenting it, I would just leave it on the counter. Don't leave it in direct sunlight, but don't leave it in a dark corner either. Just on your kitchen counter is fine, or somewhere up on the shelf, wherever you want to put it. So this is the kombucha that we make at Pyramid Farm and Ferments. Made it just like this, with organic green tea, organic sugar, one of our SCOBY starters, and time for fermentation. So the only difference with this bottle here is that I flavored it from herbs from the farm. This one here has lemon balm and echinacea, and so I did a secondary fermentation. And you might also think, why do we even make kombucha? One reason, it's really refreshing. It's just a refreshing drink. It's just something to have around and to drink. And one of the good things about it, or some of the good things about it, is that it's full of probiotics and beneficial bacteria that helps aid in healthy digestion. It also helps for boosting your immune system and detoxifying the body. So yeah, it's just a good thing to have around and to drink. And so we wanted to make this video because when I first started making kombucha, there was a lot of literature on how to do it, but when you actually get into doing it yourself, it can be a little tricky and a little confusing. But as you can see, it's really easy and it's just really fun. And one neat thing too is that every time this tea ferments, the SCOBY will grow another layer on itself that can be easily peeled off. So you can put your original SCOBY back in, and then the piece that you peeled, put into another jar. And you'll have 2 liters. You can keep going, 4 liters, 5 liters, however much you want. Right now, in our fermentation cave, I have, I think, close to 48 liters going into really, really big SCOBYs. So, yeah. If you have any other questions, you can always consult our website, and you can always email me.